Coming to you live from Tampa Bay, Health Info Radio is proud to present The Pulse with your host, Carol Ann, your tough love administrator.
Welcome, everybody, to The Pulse, where you are always up to date with the latest, greatest health and fitness information. I am your host, Carol Ann, your fitness expert, or AKA your closet couch potato. Today, the show is exploding with health and fitness. We have an amazing guest today. This is a long title, so hang with me here. She is a pink Cadillac driving senior sales director with Mary Kay.
Good job.
Melissa Olszewski. And my best buddy. I think that's my favorite title of all. One of my best buddies here. And, she's got a lot of information to share with us about skincare and how to glam it up. When you're in the gym and you're working out and you're eating right and all that, you have to put your whole look together, right?
Correct. Absolutely.
So we get to wear our workouts well, and we're going to accessorize with Melissa. She's also a health and fitness expert as well. So today we have our special segment where we have what's called What's Trending in the Health and Fitness Industry, what's trending today. So she's going to jump on the action with that, because we've got some really great studies that I want to talk about, because it's very important that not only are you listening to maybe what's trending, what may be a fad out there, I want you to know what the real deal is. And so it has to be backed by data, and it has to be proven in terms of the right information that you're getting out there in terms of leading a healthy lifestyle. So, stick around for that. And we will get in on the action with Melissa. All right, so you don't want to miss any of the fun today, so stay tuned. But first, everybody, I have a hydrate alert. And during every show, we play a game, Melissa. And, this is just a reminder to everybody out there that's listening that we need to stay hydrated throughout the day. It's very important, especially for our skin, right?
Absolutely, yes.
All right, so we teach our listeners to, have 64 ounces of water every day. And of course, that it varies a little bit based on how active you are and what your body weight is, of course. But generally speaking, about 64 ounces of water every day. We also want to remember that if you are working out, a pre-workout drink is always great, and a post-workout drink, preferably with protein, definitely after your workout. And then in the afternoon, we typically have a little slump in the afternoon. And so when we're feeling a little tired or lethargic, it could be that we are just dehydrated. Does
that happen right at 4 o'clock?
Well, about between 2 and 4.
I thought
Is that your deal? Right at 4?
I think that's my...
So so you are not alone. So typically right at that time, we're reaching for, maybe those unhealthy snacks and things that, we're trying to keep ourselves awake. And so it may be just that we need a little bit more energy. We need to be hydrated. So today, our word of the day, every time you hear the word of the day, you have to take a sip of either, if you're drinking a protein shake out there, if you're drinking water, this is just to remind us that, take a sip. And I always like to call it, take a guzzle for your muzzle. So if you're drinking a protein shake,
I love it.
Guzzle for your muscle, but guzzle for your muzzle. All right. So the word of the day is skin. How appropriate.
How appropriate.
So every time you hear the word skin out there, take a sip or take a guzzle for your muzzle. Now, what we're drinking today, I always like to introduce people to a new fun drink that we have on our set. And we have what's called Energy. Now, this is put out by Evolve Health. And what's great about this is that it has antioxidants in it. And it's through the Kona Red coffee fruit, and which is really cool, because if you are reaching for something in the afternoon and you need a pep, this is great. But antioxidants, awesome, in through the Kona Red coffee fruit, and it also has glucosamine in here. So if you're out there, you're working out really, really hard, this is great for your joints and lubrication. And a super blend of exotic fruits out there. So the I say berry, which is very popular right now. That's included in this. So I have clients that are drinking this drink and they rave about it, and they just have it at their desk if they're working in the afternoon, and they just sip on it all afternoon, and it keeps them hydrated. It keeps them revved up and really focused. So this is a great drink. So I always say, remember the word skin of the day. Don't hate, rehydrate. All right. All right. Now, gang. All right. Here's where we move into talking to our wonderful guests during this time. And let me tell you about Melissa. You know, she's got that fabulous title. I mean, we drove over here in her pink Cadillac, and I love it. I feel like I am riding in style. She has her name just on this plate right there, and her title and her level in the company. But you know, she was, or she is, I shouldn't say was, because once you're a health and fitness expert, you always are. And so that's how I met Melissa here. We met because we're in the industry together.
That's right. Carol Ann was the very first person that I think I hired at my last full-time regular JOB job in the fitness industry.
JOB, what is that? So Melissa was actually the manager of a health and fitness center, and a huge center training athletes and professional athletes as well. And so we met there and became really, really good friends. And then she transitioned out of that arena, but into a different avenue of health and fitness and wellness. And when you think about health, fitness, wellness, you don't typically think about your skin, which I think is huge, because don't we say the skin is the largest organ in the body?
Largest organ.
And we live here in Florida, which is, the phones are ringing off the hook, gang, already. Melissa's here. She's in the house. Everybody wants to talk to Melissa. You know, and we live here in Florida. We have to take extra steps to really protect our skin. And so, first of all, before we dive into all that, because she's got some really cool tips for us and how to look really cute and dynamic and fabulous, but talk about your background and your expertise, your professionalism, your credentials, your education, and then talk about, because I'm always interested on how people started off on one path and then life has taken them in a different direction, and people eventually find their passion. And when you're doing what you love to do, the money will follow. So take it away. Talk about, it's all about you, girl.
All right. Well, Carol Ann, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure. This is my first time doing anything like this, and it's fabulous. It's totally fun, and I'm so glad to be doing this with you. My daughter's going to die when she knows I have the headphones on.
Oh, that's, yeah. You're going to be like super cool mom now, totally, like your celebrity.
Totally cool. Well, I'm excited to be here. And yes, as you're correct, Carol Ann and I have the very same background. And so my background's actually in sports medicine and exercise physiology, and always knew I wanted to be in the health and wellness industry. I was one of those people that knew that from a young age. Because I had a crush on Tom and Tom, my physical therapist, when I was a gymnast when I was little.
Oh, that's right, gang. She's gymnast. Yes, you're awesome at that.
I really wanted to be a physical therapist, and I didn't realize there was anything else you could do with sports medicine or anything like that. So once I got a little bit older and went to school, I went for exercise science, same background that we have together, and I got really interested in learning about not just the athletes, but the general population as well. Really interested in helping people kind of find that body, mind, spiritual balance. I believe we're one big being with all kinds of dynamics inside and out, and mentally and physically and spiritually as well. So I started managing fitness centers and loved that. Always loved my career. And then in comes marriage and family. And I found myself really wanting to be home with my baby girl at the time, when I was introduced to my current profession, which is in the beauty industry. And prior to being a sales director with Mary Kay, I really never would have thought I would be in the beauty industry at all. I always thought, well, if you're taking care of your body, it doesn't matter what you look like. It just matters what's on the inside, and which is great and true in many, many ways. But then I started getting a little bit older. funny how
we
that
had
happens.
a line appear all of a sudden. She's like, I'm in the wrong industry.
I had spent several years in tanning beds, and suddenly my skin wasn't looking as good. And I had a newborn baby, and suddenly I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to die young. Now I have this child to provide for. So I started taking great care of my skin through this particular product that I love, and found a great way to really transition my health and wellness passions from the fitness industry into the body and image I see industry, the wellness and beauty industry. And truly, the skin is the largest organ of our body. And I had been teaching and training about the body for so long, but never really had paid that much attention to the skin. And so I really developed an appreciation for taking care of that part of the body too. And I really realized that how you feel on the inside should reflect outward.
Mm-hmm.
And typically the way we present ourselves on the outside is typically a reflection of what's going on inside. So they really are very connected. And so that's how I transitioned from being an exercise scientist to part of the beauty industry. And I really appreciate now how much science and how much technology goes behind great skincare and cosmetic products. And I'm just very proud to represent that and to now take care of myself and hopefully others through that mechanism as well.
Well, you are my personal beauty consultant and skincare goddess. And
She's so beautiful.
Oh, y'all, thank you. Anyway, so, I'm a big old train wreck when it comes to this kind of stuff.
And I understand the background.
Yes,
I never paid attention to it before.
You understand, because, we're getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, either if it's me doing my own workout or if I'm training other clients. And so, me, it's got to be getting up quickly, 5 minutes out the door. And, as long as I can have a good skincare regimen, I'm good to go. And then the makeup part of it, the tips and everything on how to pull it all together, we can always, do like a little 5-minute quickie deal. So, that is my lifestyle. And that's what I love about how you help people like me. And then you've got other people that love to dilly-dally in front of the mirror, and they can take their time. And I think of the Kim Kardashians, and I'm watching them going, how in the world do they just sit there and spend all this time? And, and so I wish I could be at that place in my life, but
someday when there's more time.
So tell us, all real people, like how to do a real quick, because I guess you've got some real good quickie steps for us, and how to take care of our skin, because we don't have to spend a lot of time doing it, and that's everybody's busy, fast paced. So tell us how we can all have great skin, right?
Well, there are really 5 basic steps to skincare, and that doesn't mean they all have to be all in the same steps, but really a great, full, complete skincare regimen will take you probably about 30 seconds to a minute.
Wow.
It really doesn't take long to take great care of your skin. And those steps are cleansing. Hopefully everybody's doing that already anyway. Most people are moisturizing in the industry. There's a lot of education now on exfoliation, and the purpose of that is to really help with cell turnover and to allow your skin to see its fresh, new skin that's developed versus the dead skin cells that are kind of laying on top of your skin that kind of exfoliate randomly. So we want to cleanse, obviously, exfoliate. There's toning, which actually balances the pH of the skin and refines the pores. And then we always like to protect our skin, and we protect our skin obviously through sunscreens, but also through a great foundation that creates a barrier between you and the environment. Because if we're taking great care of our skin, there are allergens and pollens and all of those things that can get into your pores. But if we create a balance, a barrier method between fresh, clean skin and environmental factors through a foundation that protects our skin, then we have a lot of preventative care that goes on over time. So I know for me, I was not a foundation wearer. It really is a step of skincare, even more than it is for color and makeup. And a lot of people, I know I didn't realize that. But a great skincare regimen, very, very quickly, I usually just cleanse in the shower when you're cleansing anyway with a great cleanser. And a couple of days a week to do a good exfoliation. I usually do that right in the shower as well. Or at the sink, if that's where you're doing your morning or evening regimen. It doesn't take much at all. And so, depending on the product, my great product, our Mary Kay cleanser, is a 3-in-1 cleanser. So it has cleansing, exfoliating, and toning all in one product, which is awesome. Makes it real short and sweet. But if you like a toner on a little cotton ball, like when you were a kid, you used Stridex.
Right.
Everybody used Stridex at some point. And that's a toning agent. So, and most people are already using moisturizer. And that literally, I take a slap of it, slap it on the face, and I'm ready to slap on that foundation and head out the door. You don't need a lot of makeup if you're taking great care of your skin. Your makeup's purpose is to enhance your natural beauty. And if you're taking great care of your skin as part of that, about your overall body, then you don't need a lot of extra work, let's say. So quick regimen is cleanse, exfoliate, give yourself a little toner. And
which your product has all that in one little
product.
Lotion that you just
one
put
cleanser.
on. Okay, so those 3. And then
your moisturization. Yeah, and your protection. And that's in your form of your foundation. Any one of your products, skincare products, many skincare products have SPF in them now. And so it's really, really important to wear a daily, especially here in Florida, to wear a daily sunscreen. And there are sunscreens for body, for face, a lot of amazing products that we have in our Mary Kay brand that gives you opportunity to have sunscreen at all times. So
now, I may be putting you on the spot a little bit, and forgive me if I am, but there's always debate on SPF level. Is it 30? Is it 40? Is it 50? What is it? What is it?
Well, it's ever changing with the industry. Kind of the gold standard of sunscreen these days is SPF 30. And really, your sunscreen, its effectiveness has more to do with how you naturally will burn or tan in natural sunlight and the amount of time it takes you to burn or tan in natural sunlight. That's what your SPF is based out of. It never hurts to reapply your sunscreen. There's not necessarily better or worse. It is going to change if you're sweating more, if you're wiping your sweat off more versus patting like we ladies do. Of course, we're patting our sweat off and blotting versus...
Yeah, because that causes wrinkles. Every time you put your finger in your eye, wrinkle.
Who are we kidding? We're just, so it never hurts to reapply. The closer your sunscreen is to the fresh, clean, exfoliated skin, the more absorption it's going to have.
Okay.
And the better effectiveness over a long day's time. So it doesn't hurt to reapply throughout the day, but on a daily basis, before we leave our homes and go into the Florida sun, we should absolutely have a sunscreen on. Both body and face.
And a lot of foundations, so you're talking about that barrier with the foundation also has SPF a lot of times with it. So speaking with that, and I think that's a very good point with foundation, because I always thought, if you have foundation, you're clogging up your pores. And you're going to have, those wonderful blackheads or zits or whiteheads, whatever you call them, pimples or whatever. So I like that. I like how, just... the foundation gives you some color, gives you protection in that. So moving into then the makeup, tell us what's a good way to put makeup on and what is a not so good way. Are we going to be Twisted Sister with makeup with Mary Kay?
The first thing I recommend, if you have a young teen, that you have a beauty consultant, because young teens will listen to your beauty consultant friend before they'll listen to their own moms. So that's very, very important. There are a few ways to do to apply your makeup right or wrong. Unless we're on the cover of a magazine and we really want to highlight one feature or another, the way I like to think of cosmetics is just, it's an accessory. It's an accessory to your outfit or to what you're wearing. Truly almost any person of any skin type or skin tone can wear almost any color, even though if a woman changes her lipstick color, suddenly it's like, oh my gosh, this is a terrible color. And it's not that way. Anybody can wear anything. Yes, we are used to certain things that we wear, but I have learned, and I wore no makeup before I was in this industry. I really have learned that you can have fun. You can change your jewelry in the morning. You can change your clothes every day, and you can change your colors as well. And really, I believe that cosmetics are a means of expression. If you're in a bright, happy, cheery mood, you might be wearing brighter, more, fun colors. If you're looking for neutrals and you're just kind of feeling like you're in a more calm mood, you might just have a real natural look. And there's really very few right or wrongs. But if we're looking at cosmetics as an accessory to who we are and ever changing, I really believe we should be changing our look at least once every quarter with the seasons. And quite honestly, I don't think I wear the same 2 colors of anything 2 days in a row. So it's just fun to be able to express yourself that way.
Well, it sounds like we've got a lot of play and a lot of flexibility these days because, back in the day, it just seemed like this is the color that you wear for the 80s. Remember the 80s was like
the
pink.
blue and the pink?
Yeah, the blue and the pink, exactly. And the eyeliner was blue or green or, and that's the way you did it in the 80s. And you had to wear those colors, and so that's what's in. So it sounds like we have a little bit more flexibility and anything pretty much goes.
We have a lot of flexibility all the time, and that doesn't mean there aren't trends. There are always great trends that are going on. I don't know if anybody's noticed out in the beauty industry and out in the fashion industry these days, gold and black are very in trend. The purples have been very in trend lately, and so certainly there are great trend items, and I hate to tell you, but the fashion industry decided what we'd be wearing now about 3 to 4 years ago.
Right.
They decided way back when.
Do you know I have a bachelor's degree in fashion merchandising? Did you know that?
I don't think I knew that.
Well, that's why I feel like, thank God I changed, because I feel like such a crazy person over here going, I remember going to New York to the Color Box.
Yes.
In New York City, and I remember this was a field trip when I was in college, and we went to the Color, and I just remember them, oh my gosh, what year was that? 1990, something like that.
Fun.
And I remember they were talking about the colors of 1993, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to be an old lady in
By
93. So you're so right about that. And that's why it's a BS degree, people, because you don't really know what you want to do in life. Okay, moving on.
Total flexibility. And I think it's important to have fun. And you can tell the people who are just, I used to be someone that was very routine, and I still love my routines. It helps me function through the day, but it's fun to be able to change things up and to express yourself differently. And so one of the great reasons to have a beauty consultant is for that reason, to just get advice and help play. I really find that, a lot of times the modern woman has a nail tech that they see and a massage therapist. Every good woman has a personal trainer that they see on a regular basis, a hairstylist. Hopefully they're getting their, clinical facials done, but on an everyday basis, every woman should have a beauty consultant who really truly does help them, balance their body and their image and their look so that they can be up to date and they can be if they're in a professional situation, that their image can be strong and confident. And really, skincare and cosmetics and the whole beauty industry, along with the fitness industry, I think has everything to do with being confident, feeling good in your own skin, and being able to really express yourself as a person and a professional so that you can receive great energy back and forth between the relationships that you have.
Yeah, and I really... in terms of what I love about my relationship with you, because you are my beauty consultant, what I love is, and I do this quite often, I call you and I go, I am out of makeup. I need my makeup or my foundation. And you're like, what color is it? And you have it on file. And so you know what it is that I need. And thank God you're also my neighbor. That you're right around the corner. Literally, people, she drives to my house and she drops it off for me if I'm going on a trip and I need my cleanser, and she literally comes to my house and she drops it off. And that's what I love about, having her as a beauty consultant, is that you do get that personal touch. And, I'm not going to get that from Walgreens. I'm going to call Walgreens and go, can you, Tammy in the makeup counter, can you please drive over here and bring me my, Johnson & Johnson, whatever it is.
Well, we women wait until the last minute for anything.
Absolutely.
So I can't tell you how many 9 p.m. phone calls for moisturizer I've gotten because we need it for the next morning before we go to work. So
and you're great because you have such a good relationship with people. You're a people person and you're very good at what you do. You're professional. And, she really is top notch. She knows what she's talking about. And I highly recommend Melissa to anybody in terms of, getting a consultation with her so she can teach you about proper skincare, what would look best on you, how to play around with your look and not be so scared to step out and play with your look. And I look at you as like the bow or the ribbon. I'm working on the package for people, and you get to put the nice bow on top for people and just kind of top it off. And I put all the hard work in with people, and they go get pampered with Melissa. They get to love her, hate me. So
not a bad deal. Not a bad deal.
No, but I've loved, getting to have this relationship with you. And I thank you so much for coming and sharing with us. And you guys, I'm going to put her information out on my Facebook page so that if you would like to have a consultation with her and talk about your look, and maybe if there's something you would like to change, she's definitely there to help you and teach you about skincare. You definitely need a skincare regimen. It's very, very important. It will save you a lot of money down the road. So get started
Take care
now.
Of your skin now.
That's right. Take care of it now. So I'll put her information on my Facebook page, and don't forget. Please remember that my Facebook page is Carol Ann Miss Fit. So look me up, and you can find the Facebook page there. So thanks, Melissa, once again.
Thanks, Carol Ann. This is fun.
Awesome.
I appreciate it.
All right, now we get to test your exercise science skills.
Uh-oh.
Now you get to put your other hat on, or put your lab coat on.
Sounds good.
Gang, we're going to talk about what's trending right now. And the first study that I want to talk about today is about yo-yo dieting. All right, raise your hand out there if you're guilty of the yo-yo dieting. Obviously, we know that we have 69% of our population either overweight or obese, and half of those people are on a diet. And so you got to really look at what you're doing in terms of quote unquote dieting. And I can't stress enough that, gang, it is a lifestyle. It is a behavior change. So please look at what you're following. If it's the latest, trendiest diet out there, you got to take a look at it and ask yourself one important question. Whatever it is you're doing, can I do this for the rest of my life? If the answer is no, I can only do this for 6 weeks, I can only do this for 2 weeks, then you need to ditch it and get rid of it now, because you will fall into the habit of doing the yo-yo dieting. But I have good news, because if you are the yo-yo dieter, there is hope, because typically we're used to seeing information out there talking about yo-yo dieters and how they mess up their metabolism. And so far, the reading and the literature has supported the fact that, you've done so many bad dieting behaviors that now your body doesn't understand where that set point is. We've called it a set point. Well, there's now a new study out, and this is the title. It says, yo-yo dieting does not thwart weight loss efforts or alter metabolism. Long-term study finds. So, let's get into that. And gang, yes, my computer, we love computers, but sometimes, we have to be patient with them. So here it is. In the Western world, we have an estimated 10% to 40% of the population that is what we call weight cycling or yo-yo dieting. So this affects 10 to 40%. That's a huge jump, 10 to 40% of our Western world population. But the study was done by Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center, and it was published in the journal Metabolism. So basically, again, unsuccessful weight loss, the studies have shown, or people have been reporting, that it messes up your metabolism, but they are now saying that it does not. And as a matter of fact, there's always hope. So if you have succumbed to that yo-yo dieting, start with little small bites. Don't jump right back into another diet again, and start with eating properly, eating whole foods. So we talk about this all the time, that you need to get whole grains in your diet. And the one thing I hate, and Melissa, jump in here. This is the one thing I just really don't like when people say I'm cutting out my carbs. Because it's a very general blanket statement. When
yes.
somebody says, I'm cutting out my carbs, what does that say to you?
Oh my goodness.
I'm cutting out my carbs.
Well, what that says to me, for most people, when they say I'm going to cut my carbs, they really don't really even know what that means in particular. And carbohydrate comes in so many different forms and fashions, and carbohydrate fuel is about 98% of brain fuel. So if you completely cut all carbohydrates out of your diet, you're and I don't know if anybody's ever done this, but you're going to feel foggy, you're going to get headaches. It's truly because your brain is not getting fuel. It just simply is not getting fuel. You have to have your carbohydrates. And a lot of times we have carbohydrates that are simple sugars versus complex carbohydrates, which are excellent for us. And in whole grains, that's the way we should be taking them in. We should be taking them in fruits and vegetables, but it's not just what we're not taking in that's important. It's what we are taking in that will help fuel us. So it's not just about what we can take out of our diets. It's not, nutrition isn't just about what we're going to stop ourselves from eating, but it's about what are all those things that are nutrient rich that are missing in our diets that we should be adding to our diets. And there are a lot of amazing fruits and vegetables, nuts and grains. A lot of those are carbohydrate rich, but in the good, dense nutrients that we need to fuel our brain. So
I love that. Looking at, because people have a negative relationship with food. They're constantly denying themselves of XYZ, the cookie, the cake, or whatever it is that they say, I can't have. And that usually follows up with sabotage because of the way that they're positioning food. So we have to start looking to food as food is fuel for our bodies. We are machines. And so you would never go to the gas station and fill up your pink Cadillac
with diesel fuel.
Yeah, exactly.
With the wrong fuel.
There you go. Thank you for that. So, we need to have a positive relationship with food. And if you are eating properly 80% of the time, then you do have that 20% wiggle room to have a little fun. Yes, we are going to birthday parties. We are going to have cake every now and again. I do. And it's all part of life. So, follow a healthy eating pattern, mostly fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean meats, and if you cover those bases, and if you keep fueling yourself with that and drinking lots of water, that's going to be your key. And those of you that have fallen into the whole yo-yo dieting, you're going to be successful, and it's never too late. And I'm thankful for this study to say, no, it does not mess up your metabolism. And which is exciting. That's really good information out there. All right, so now, since we talked about carbohydrates and fruits and vegetables, here's another one. This came out July 24th of this year, so it's still pretty new. And this was a study according to Loyola University Health System, and this is by a registered dietitian, Brooke Shantz, if I'm saying that properly. But is there such a thing as eating too many fruits and vegetables? Very interesting. And I always say, well, I think so, because you never see a skinny cow out there, right? I don't think they're eating meat or anything. So, and an orangutan, they're vegetarians and they're huge. And so,
Interesting.
So, yeah. So what do you say about that? Is there such a thing as eating too many fruits and vegetables? What do you think about that one?
I'm not sure what to think about that. My physiology brain would say our bodies perform at a certain level of calories per day. We have a basal metabolic rate, and so we can eat, let's say, 1,500 calories worth of Tootsie Rolls, or 1,500 calories worth of fruits and vegetables, and we will, for the most part, not necessarily in a healthy way, but will maintain weight as far as calories. And calories, by the way, are a measure of heat production and how we metabolize food. So if you have, if you're burning 1,500 calories a day, but you're eating 3,000 calories a day of fruits and vegetables, more than what you need, which, by the way, is going to be really, really tough to do. To eat that much, you're going to be very, very full. You're not going to want that many calories a day just
of fruits and vegetables.
But if you were to eat more than you metabolize, then you probably would gain weight, and that's my guess at what this study may say. The good news is all the vitamins and nutrients that go in must come out, and if you eat too much of certain vitamins that we don't need, sometimes, just like in over supplementing ourselves, we'll have just very expensive pee at the end of the day.
Yes, I love that. Ding, 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 ding. All right. Very good, Melissa. You are spot
Am I right?
on. You are right. You're spot on, girl. That's
Good.
right. That's why I love you.
Good education.
You're awesome. That's exactly right. What they're saying is, yes, as if you are eating more calories than you're expending, then yes, gang, once again, it is simple math.
Simple math.
It really, really is. You need to eat less, move more if you're trying to lose weight. It really is the truth. If you're looking specifically at weight loss. And so that, it really is. So, however, the thing about fruit, though, you do kind of need to monitor how much fruit you're eating, because it is a lot of simple sugars.
Sugar.
With the vegetables, though, there's a lot of fiber with the vegetables, so you're going to be able to get rid of a lot of waste product in your body, which is awesome with the vegetables. But as long as you are moving and grooving, and you can eat as many fruits and vegetables that will accommodate that type of activity. But yeah, there is such a thing as eating too many fruits and vegetables. So very good on that. So gang,
I didn't know she was going to be testing me.
I know, but I'm nice though. I know she knows these answers. I would never give her something she wouldn't know. I know she knows this. So right. So once again, the lesson here is portion control, portion control, portion control. All right, next, since we're talking about diet and eating behavior and that, I love this one. Should doctors treat lack of exercise as a medical condition? Well, experts says yes. And this is so, so huge, so important. Doctors, if you're listening out there, you all need to hook up with an exercise physiologist or an exercise expert or somebody in the fitness industry, and you need to hook up with them so that you can start implementing programs with your patients. Doctors love you. There's medical science out there that we need, but we are too drug driven in this country. We really, really are. And, if you're feeling pain, we are very reactive and not proactive.
Absolutely.
And I wish that our doctors can really get a handle on being more proactive, getting hooked up with a health and fitness expert to really implement programming, because doctors, they know what they know, and that is treatment. And I think we're moving slightly a little bit in a more positive direction with that, but really we're not there.
Well, my thought process is that every person within any wellness field, and that includes all of our medical professionals, our physicians, our exercise physiologists, our massage therapists, and our country, thankfully, is starting to recognize some alternative therapies as assistance in health issues and that kind of thing. The reality is, the way our entire healthcare system is, everybody has their specialties, and fitness and exercise is the specialty of an exercise physiologist. And I know some of the most amazing physicians that I've worked with in the past are those who we have a trusting referral-based relationship with. My goal and desire is always to work with wellness professionals in a group. I once worked as an intern at Duke Diet and Fitness Center, and we would get together as a group. We'd have our psychologist, our medical doctor, our nurse practitioners, our exercise physiologists, our registered dietitians, and we would sit together and talk about treatment plan for this individual, because it's not just treatment and it's not just prevention. Have you ever seen some of the most healthy people out there, and somehow they get struck with some disease, and it has to be a cohesive way to work together. And so I think it's just so important. And I think there are limitations to every industry. We can't all know everything about everything, including physicians that are out there. And so I think it's so important for all of us to really rely on one another, to inter-refer. And it's so amazing to see a study like this where doctors are saying that this is a medical condition, and recognition is step one, and then working together to help that condition is step two. And I think that's an amazing study that's out there.
And I think this also will help people who have health benefits, right, to start getting this covered. And, why not have health insurance covered for your personal trainer?
Absolutely.
And it's going to be a lot cheaper than paying for a double bypass surgery operation that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
So, and people are going bankrupt in this country because they can't afford the procedures that are occurring, and they can't afford health insurance if they are self-employed or they have a small business. It's expensive. So, we still have a long way to go. Lot of work to do.
A long way to go.
But yeah, I think lack of exercise is right up there with major diseases. Because, not only are we eating ourselves to death, but we're just sitting ourselves to death. Is that a way to say it? I mean, I don't mean to laugh, but, we are the most inactive society. So, this actually came in, this actually was just released August 13th. And it says a sedentary lifestyle is a common cause of obesity. We know that, and excessive body weight and fat, and in turn are considered catalysts for diabetes, high blood pressure, joint damage, and other serious health problems. But what if lack of exercise itself were treated as a medical condition? Well, this was done in the Mayo Clinic. Physiologist Michael Joyner argues that it should be. So I love that. I mean, I think that, if you are not active, I mean, you can have skinny fat people. And you can still have people that look thin, but it's just that. It's probably their genetics that they're built that way, but they're still not moving. Exactly. And so it's an interesting study out there, and I think we're moving in the right direction with this information. All right, moving on. It is back to school. Just started. First day of school was yesterday, and all the parents and guardians and everybody out there are just screaming for joy. That's like, yay, we're free again. So listen, they did a study. Students with strong hearts and lungs may make better grades. How about that?
Absolutely.
I love it. So
love it.
People that are exercising, they perform not only better physically, but also mentally. So in the classroom, they are seeing some good things. So having a healthy heart and lungs may be one of the most important factors for middle school students to make good grades in math and reading. So according to findings presented at the American Psychological Association's 120th annual convention. So what they did was they took a group of middle school students and they put them on a program, and they did a fitness assessment with them. That was their measurement.
Right.
So, as fitness professionals, when we are assessing someone's 5 components of fitness,
Absolutely.
It's cardiorespiratory endurance, muscular strength, muscular endurance, flexibility, and body fat composition. So those are the 5 components of fitness, and they measured all 5 of them. The one component that was significantly changed in terms of impacting math and reading skills was the cardiorespiratory fitness test.
What Why do you think that is, Carol Ann? What do you think?
Well, I think, with cardiorespiratory fitness, you're getting your blood circulating. If you are exercising, you're moving now of gain. Cardiorespiratory fitness is cardio activity. And the way that we define cardio activity is that if you are moving your body, and it doesn't matter what it is, if you're cycling, if you're rollerblading, if you're walking, running, playing racquetball, whatever the activity is, it doesn't matter. Your body doesn't care. All it knows is that your heart rate is elevated, and the way that we measure an intensity level of an exercise is if we take your pulse, your heart rate, and there's a simple formula, and of course, this is all age predicted or estimated. We don't really know what the true calculation is unless we hooked you up to an EKG, threw you on the treadmill, and did like a Bruce protocol test on you. However, you can do a field estimate, and the simple formula to know what your age predicted maximum heart rate is if you take 220 minus your age. 220 minus your age, that is your constant. And so then what you want to do is whatever activity you're doing, then you take your pulse and you want to maintain. Now, the guideline is between 60 to 90% of that age predicted maximum heart rate. However, for the general population, about 80% is what people can typically feel comfortable with in terms of maintaining that intensity level of exercise. But you want to maintain that activity level for at least 20 minutes to 60 minutes of prolonged activity. Now, that is what we define by the American College of Sports and Medicine as cardiorespiratory activity. And then you want to do that anywhere between 3 to 5 days a week.
Absolutely.
So that is the prescription for cardiorespiratory activity. Now, during that, your respiratory is going up, so the exchange ratio in terms of your breathing, of course, your breathing is going to increase. Your blood flow is going to increase. Your heart rate goes up. So I just think you're getting blood to the brain.
That's what I'm thinking. Long story short, you get, if you think about it, when you're getting your cardiorespiratory endurance. And first of all, activities of daily living are fabulous, which means chasing after your 3-year-old like I do. But certainly you need a sustained activity over time to get the cardiovascular benefit. And truly, if you think about that, if you're doing 20 to 60 minutes of cardiovascular activity daily, or at least 5 times a week, I think is the recommendation now, that every time that heart beats faster and harder, you're getting blood circulation, you're strengthening the heart muscles, you're strengthening the functionality of the lungs and the entire system. It's kind of like a car that's sitting in the driveway that doesn't get run. It's going to weaken. There are going to be parts that start to comply. When you go to start up that car, it's going to be a little bit rough around the edges. You're going to have a hard time starting it up and moving it. It needs to get warmed up. So we want to make sure that our bodies cardiovascularly are strong enough to circulate all of the oxygen that it requires for a student to be able to concentrate and focus and process and calculate and really learn. And so it makes total sense that having that strong heart and lung is gonna positively influence the ability to learn and conceptualize and process knowledge.
And not to mention all those happy endorphins that are released, right? And so, so you've got endorphins to be released, and so you can think clearly. And I know that when I'm done with my workout, all right, I'm ready. I'm ready for the day. I can focus. I feel good. I can concentrate. And so I think that has a lot to do with it as well. Awesome. Okay, gang. So you heard it here first. We had some really good information today. Hopefully you took some sort of nugget from today, because there's a lot of information, and just stay true on your path, with exercise, diet, and skincare, and putting it all together in a fabulous outward package. So that's it. I wonder how many times we said the word skin today.
I wonder. Somebody could
Yeah.
Let us know.
Let us know. Post
us
it
know.
on my Facebook page. Again, it's Carol Ann Misfit on the Facebook page. And so we want to know, how many times did we say the word skin, and are you super well hydrated today? So we want to know. So thank you all so much. That is today's show. Thank you for joining me and Melissa. Be sure to tune in every Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at www.healthinforadio.com, where you will definitely have your finger on the pulse with Carol Ann.
You have been listening to The Pulse on healthinforadio.com every Tuesday, 12:30 to 1:30 Eastern Standard Time.